What is going on, guys? Today we are here to talk about Uncharted. It's finally here, it's finally out. It's taken years and years and multiple cast changes and multiple directorial changes, but Sony's finally put it out. I've seen it. Let's talk about it.
Everything in here. Why the map?
It's the biggest treasure that's never been found.
5 billion easy.
But it's just a story.
I beg to differ.
First thing first, let me put this out there. The marketing for this film has been absolutely garbage, trash. It has created zero buzz for this film, and Sony has been Sony's only hope for the success of this film is riding that Tom Holland wave from Spider-Man. And they should have built on that moving into this film. They should have rode that Spider-Man success. They should have marketed like crazy, because I believe there's something in this film that could have brought people to watch it, right? Because, to be honest, I ended up coming out enjoying the film. Is it a good film? It's not. Is it a good Uncharted film? It's not. But for what it's worth, it's enjoyable. If this film wasn't called Uncharted, I think a lot of people would have been okay watching this. But when you put that stamp, that Uncharted stamp to it, you are adding this humongous amount of pressure for it to be good, because the games are so good. And it's not. But, like I said, again, there's enough in this film for me that I came out wanting to see another one. And if a film does that, I call it a success. Like I said, I will probably watch it again down the line. Let me just give them this much. Like, I enjoy watching this. I would definitely be willing to watch a sequel, and I'll be willing to watch it again sometime, right? Tom Holland, Nathan Drake, yes. I wish they had gone someone a little older, but for what it's worth, he's fine. He's fine. He's likable. Tom Holland's likable. He's a superstar. Is he Nathan Drake? Not quite. But there's potential. He could be. He could be, down the line. Marky Mark as Sully, though. I don't know what they were thinking casting him as Sully. I don't see it. After seeing the film, I still don't see it. But it's Marky Mark. I mean, he does what Marky Mark does. But it's not Victor Sullivan for me. I'm sorry. It's not. Him and Tom Holland have zero chemistry. That Sully and Drake chemistry is missing, and it's the most important factor of Uncharted, and it's missing there. But again, I like that. What do you call it? I like that Indiana Jones meets Pirates of Caribbean vibe from it, right? It's fun. It's mindless popcorn flick. You can watch it, can have fun with it, but do not expect anything more out of it, right? Like, it is what it is. I wish for a video game film, the bar is very low, so it's not one of the worst ones out there. There's plenty worse video game films out there. Uncharted, for me, I'll put it amongst the higher parts. Like, it's not saying a lot, but I enjoyed watching it. I really like what they did with Chloe, the character of Chloe, and the actors who played it. I think she did fine. I think her and Drake's, I think they have a good chemistry. I like their relationship. I like the hint and everything between what's going to happen with them and all that. Antonio Banderas, right? When you cast Antonio Banderas, I'm expecting him to be utilized properly, and this film wastes him. So it just wastes him. Like, when you see his character, it's an Uncharted villain. His character is an Uncharted villain, but they don't utilize him at all. Instead, they decide to go with this another character, and now at the end, the villains are bland. They're just forgettable. Tom Holland's playing a very different character, but there's hints that he will become Nathan Drake that we know of, especially how the film ends.
Put him down, boys.
What is that thing on your face?
Yeah, puberty's right around the corner, kid. You can grow your own.
Basically teases the first Uncharted game. We see a lot of Nate and Sam's. Well, we don't see a lot, but Nate and Sam's brotherly relationship plays a big part toward the film, which I thought was interesting that they decided to just go with that angle right from the beginning. But again, the biggest flaw this film has going on is our two main characters who we are supposed to root for don't have this chemistry going on. Like, you don't believe that there could be this brotherlyhood or father-son, however you want to look at Sully and Nate. It's not there between Mark Wahlberg and Tom Holland, and that's where the film misses big time. The story is whatever, it's a treasure hunt, like any Uncharted games or any other Indiana Jones or anything. Like, they're going to find this gold, and it's an adventure. When I look at this film, I look at the film that came out last year with The Rock, Jungle Cruise. I put it on the same level, but Jungle Cruise had The Rock, and I think it was successful because of The Rock. Uncharted, if marketed properly, could have been similar because Tom Holland is a superstar and he's freshly coming out of Spider-Man, and he's a pretty bankable star, right? People like him, people know him. But Sony dropped the balls while marketing this film. Like, there was no buzz. The trailers were pretty basic, pretty average. And leading up to it, like, people had no idea this was even coming out this week. So I think they dropped the ball with Uncharted marketing. But for what it's worth, I watched Uncharted. I enjoyed it. Uncharted is my favorite game series of all time, game franchise. I love Nathan Drake as a character. I do. I think he is one of the best written video game characters. So if like sequels made, I do hope to see more video game accurate version of Nathan Drake with Tom Holland, which they hinted at the end of the first film. It looks like they're gonna go after El Dorado, and the fact that China is allowing Uncharted to open, maybe there's a chance it does well and makes enough money for Sony to make a sequel. Because, like I said, I did come out of the film wanting to see more in this world. But yeah, Uncharted, I'm disappointed, but also not so, because everything I have seen so far, my expectations were pretty low. But I know what this franchise is capable of and the potential of this franchise. Disappointed that we didn't get quite near that, but I'm hopeful that hopefully the future will be better. And then, they tried. That's all I can ask for, because it's taken forever for this film to come out, and they tried doing it. And I'm just glad that they took a chance, even if it's not great, but they took a chance. Because like, with video game films, right? People are so afraid to make them because they're never good. You just gotta keep trying it. We'll eventually hit it right. So let's go. Uncharted 2. Hopefully that happens. Hopefully it happens sooner, and they can be more into the character. Like, I hope Mark Wahlberg becomes more of Sullivan as we know of, and Tom Holland can be a little bit more badass, because we saw the emotional side, the vulnerable side of Nathan Drake, but now let's see the badass, the ruthless, the womanizer, the total ass kicker Nate, the adventurer Nate. Let's see that person in the sequel, and I'm all up for that. So yeah, there you go. That's Uncharted. Did you guys even bother watching it? If you did, what you thought about it, let me know in the comments below. And as always, I'll see you next time. Peace.